In Matthew 20, Jesus talks about laborers in a vineyard and how the master of the house hired various workers throughout the day and then paid them when the workday was through. He says the owner of a vineyard hires some men to work his fields early in the morning and promises to pay them 1 denarius. They agree to it and get to work. As the day goes on, he encounters more men and sends them to work in the field. Then, with only 1 hour left in the day, he hires the last crew to go into the field. And at the day's end, he gathers all the workers together and pays each one 1 denarius. The fact that the men who only worked an hour got as much pay as those who had labored all day angered some of the workers. And so they approach him and they say, "You've made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the entire day and the scorching heat." I think it's interesting that they phrased it that way. You've made them equal to us. You know, in ministry, whether that's an organized church or outreach, or how God has called you to minister professionally in retail, education, or industry, also in our personal relationships and roles as a wife, husband, a mother, or a sister, guard your heart against an entitlement attitude. While we should always be careful to give honor where it's due, to honor the consistent service of those who handle the logistics so we don't have to, when we're the ones in that role, we must be sure to understand that whether we've been at this for years or we're new to it all, God rewards equally. Now, that seems to contradict the parable here. Someone working 1 hour getting paid the same amount as someone who worked 8 hours doesn't seem equal to us. But that's where we must remember this is a parable. It's meant to communicate a deeper spiritual truth. The master of the vineyard symbolizes God, and the laborers symbolize his followers who perform his purposes here on earth. The parable isn't simply about work and wages. It's about obedience and reward and the great grace of God. So I hope you'll come back tomorrow as we continue looking into this parable.